Thursday, February 5th is going to go down in Rams history, my friends, because today is the day that Matthew Stafford brought home the 2025 NFL MVP award, becoming the first Ram in over 20 years to win the most valuable player and becoming the first Los Angeles Ram to win it since Roman Gabriel did all the way back in 1969. What a hell of a day, my friends. And that isn't the only great news we got, because in Stafford's acceptance speech, he gave us an absolute bombshell. Some news I know you guys have been waiting for. I know some of you already know it. You know why I'm giddy right now. But we got some other things to get through on this NFL Honors reaction. Before we get into that news, I'm going to save it for the end. I know. But I want to talk about some other things that happened in this NFL Honors show. Before we get ahead of ourselves and talk about what happened at the end, I want to talk about some of the other guys that were also up for awards tonight or for recognition tonight that are Rams, because it wasn't just Stafford, obviously. Torrey Holt was once again up for induction into the Hall of Fame. And I think it's just frustrating that he once again falls short. He did not even make the top 15, as I understand it. That's not confirmed, but sources in the room said he fell short of the top 15, did not get into the top 10 once again. Just, it baffles me that one of the greatest receivers in the entire history of our sport continues to go unrecognized, continues to be unable to join the other members of the greatest show on turf, and Kurt Warner, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk, Orlando Pace, all of those guys are Hall of Famers. Torrey Holt deserves to be one too. I know most of the guys watching this video, most of the people watching this video, they agree with that. But it's great to see Kurt tonight, but I just wish that we got to see Kurt Warner putting in one of his best wingmen ever. One of the bigger frustrations of a night that came with a lot of success for the Rams. But I think something to keep in mind for us as Rams fans, a sliver of hope here, a silver lining in one of our divisional rivals. Roger Craig gets in tonight. Took Craig a long time. He had to wait 20 years to get in. Torrey Holt hasn't had to wait quite that long yet. I do think Torrey's day is coming. I truly believe one day he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and it's going to be just as well deserved as it was for Roger Craig tonight. As much as I hate to admit that, Niners player, he's a great one. He deserved to be in that hall for a long time. Torrey Holt deserves to be in that hall, and I think he will get in very soon. Kyren Williams comes up short for the second year in a row on Man of the Year. And again, I'm not going to say Kyren got snubbed. This is the Man of the Year award. Every single player nominated is fantastic and deserves to be nominated. But this is another one where I know Kyren's day is coming soon. If you're not familiar with what he does in the community, he is one of the best and brightest in the entire NFL, not only as just a player, but also just as a human being. The work he's done with the Los Angeles Fire Department before, during, and after the wildfires has been enormous, donating his entire 2024 Man of the Year nomination money to the LA Fire Department's foundation, gave out new shoes to kids who lost their homes in the Eaton fire. He works with youth on a pretty much weekly basis, giving up his off-day time pretty much every single week to go do some sort of community event out in the Los Angeles community to give back in some way to the community that supports him. And I have so much respect for that. So much respect for Kyren Williams, who, like me, is a St. Louis native. I think he does our city proud every single day. I have a ton of respect for everybody nominated, and especially to Bobby Wagner, who ultimately ended up bringing the award home this year. But I know, just like with Torrey Holt, just like we talked about there, Kyren's day is coming for the Man of the Year award. Kyren's day is coming to get that one because he just does too much good in the community, too much good in our society at large to not be recognized at some point. Two more. Puka Nacua, Offensive Player of the Year. He loses out on this one to Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and I thought that this would be the case. I did unfortunately think that Nacua would lose out on this one when I did my predictions. If you follow our Chat Sports main accounts, you might know I'm doing a lot of the main content over there from more of a, straight-on perspective, not a team-to-team perspective. And I did predict that Jaxon Smith-Njigba would win this one, but I vouched for Puka in that one strongly. And what frustrated me more than JSN winning it, because, I mean, at the end of the day, if I put my team-to-team bias aside, Jaxon Smith-Njigba was a great football player. I do truly believe that Puka Nacua is the significantly better talent at the end of the day. He was more efficient than Jaxon Smith-Njigba was, but JSN was, raw numbers-wise, more productive. So I understand why the voters go with JSN to some degree. But what I cannot get behind is Christian McCaffrey being the runner-up over Puka Nacua. That's unbelievable. That blew me away. No disrespect to CMC in the year that he had. He's a good player. He came back strong from a PCL strain. But, man, that's frustrating. Puka should have been the runner-up at the very, very least. All right, lastly, I've made you guys wait long enough for it. Let's get to the big kahuna. Let's talk about Matthew Stafford winning the MVP. I know everybody wants to talk about it. And not only talk about him winning the MVP, which, look, and I'm going to show my hand a little bit here. I pre-filmed the short that went out on him winning the MVP. So if you've watched that one on the channel, the reason I didn't mention what he said in the acceptance speech is because I didn't know he was going to do that. I did not expect that, but I did expect him to win this award. This didn't come as a surprise to me. It didn't at all. And I'm so proud of him for winning it. I'm getting emotional remembering his family and just the emotions that they had and everything that went into it. It's just awesome for him to finally be recognized in this way. I truly think Matt is one of the greatest to ever suit up at the NFL level, especially at the quarterback position, but just in general, I think that's true. I know that's kind of a hot take, but I really do feel that way. And I think this is something he's earned. Shout out to Brett Alper, our Patriots Today host. He likes to call this the Lifetime Achievement Award. Obviously trying to vouch for Drake Maye. And it grinds my gears a lot when he says that because we know Stafford deserves this on just the strength of his season alone. Just the strength of 2025, even if Matthew Stafford didn't have the body of work that he does outside of this year, didn't have the incredible career that he absolutely does, he deserves this award. He led the league in passing yards. He led the league in passing touchdowns. He did that while facing 8 teams that would ultimately go on to make the playoffs. There's not much more I can say at the end of the day to prove to you that Stafford deserves it off the strength of just this year. But I do feel like this is a phenomenal recognition of everything that Matthew Stafford is, of everything that Matthew Stafford has built in his career as a player and as truly one of the greats. He was already a Hall of Famer before tonight and should be a first ballot one at that. But this locks up the first ballot status, and this just adds a lot to the legacy of one of the great ones for those who will not watch him down to down like we did. That's the way it goes in history at the end of the day. You rely on what your resume tells people about you, and Matthew Stafford now finally has the recognition that he is the MVP. That's on the resume now. Future generations will know that Matthew Stafford was as great as we will tell them that he is, and we could show them the tape, but when you have that MVP award on your resume, it just adds so much to your legacy. It adds so much to your greatness factor in some degrees. I'm just so glad that Matthew Stafford finally has one on his resume, finally has something he's deserved for a long time, in my opinion, on his ledger. And it's a recognition of an unbelievable year for him. But let's talk about the announcement. In the acceptance speech, stumbling over my words here, the opposite of that. In the acceptance speech, Matthew Stafford said, "I'll see you guys next year." And he was real casual about it. He was really, really casually just dropped a bombshell on us like that he's coming back for 2026, that Matt's not going away just yet. And I mean, I screamed when I heard that. I might get a noise complaint because I'm in the apartment here with my fiance, but we were sitting and watching the honors show, and I let out a scream of joy when I heard that, just to know for sure, because I've told you guys over and over again that he's coming back. I felt so strongly that would be the case because I just knew that he wasn't going to go out like this. Obviously, winning the MVP means a lot to Stafford, but getting another ring is the ultimate goal, right? For him, excuse me. And I just knew that And not to say that this was a disappointing season, because I truly believe that this was a really good season. Even though it didn't end the way that we wanted it to, he wouldn't go out on that note. This wouldn't be the last of Matthew Stafford. I knew it couldn't be, because at the end of the day, he's one of the great ones. And the great ones don't always get happy endings, but I feel like more often than not, they do. And I think Matthew Stafford's going to get a really, really, really satisfying one at the end of next season. And we're going to be here to cover it the whole way through on the Rams Report by Chat Sports. What a fantastic night in Rams history, guys. It's going to be a tough one to sleep, because I'm just really excited right now. I'm sure you guys feel the same way, just jittery right now. Finally getting that recognition for Matthew Stafford, our guy. It's a great one. It is a great, great feeling. All Rams fans, I think, are sharing in it right now. I know Matthew Stafford and his family are absolutely feeling it, probably 100x what we are. But, man, I'm proud of the Rams. I'm proud of Matthew Stafford. I'm proud of every Ram that was up for recognition tonight, that was up for awards. Big shout-outs to Torrey Holt. Torrey, they got to get you in there soon. I know I led this off with the Torrey Holt part because I really do feel passionately about it. I know the St. Louis era sometimes gets left behind, but I think we got to recognize that Torrey Holt's one of the greatest players to ever suit up for this franchise, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. Kyren Williams will get a Man of the Year award one day. I know this isn't the last time we're going to see him on that stage, and it's damn sure not the last time Puka Nacua is going to be nominated for an Offensive Player of the Year. He's got a couple of those in his future if it all goes the way I think it will. But Rams fans, that pretty much does it for us in this one. I will be seeing you guys very, very soon. We'll be here covering the Rams all off season long with some free agency targets videos coming around the corner, more draft targets videos. So if you haven't already and you made it to this point in the video, make sure you lock us in by hitting that subscribe button and stay up to date on everything you need around your favorite team. As always, let's go Rams.